I don't know what the hell was going on there until I heard my baby's cry. Ha! That was it. And it is all I've been waiting for. And that was it though. They just showed me my baby. At that point, I was not seeing where. I was like, who is this black? This cannot be my child. I was seeing a very black child. Black. I said, no.
Black.
She was black. I don't know if my vision was blur or something, but I shall know. She was just too black.
Hello. Welcome to our studio. Good evening.
Good evening.
Kindly introduce yourself to us.
My name is Ndidi, popularly known as Ndidi, and I am a makeup artist, a nail technician, and a hairstylist by profession.
All in one.
Yeah. We good like that.
All right. So we have been running a series for a while, and we invited you to share your story, your pregnancy story. For those people that don't know, she's a mom. So you're a mom of how many?
One.
How old?
For now, she's one. She turned one.
When you say for now, how many are we looking at?
Don't know about.
Okay.
My God.
Okay, so one for now. Happy birthday to her.
Yeah.
So, as I would usually ask my guests, the first question is, from the point of marriage or wedding, how long did it take before you got pregnant?
I think it took about 6 months or more. Yeah.
Was it intentional?
Yes, it was very intentional.
Why?
Well, I just believe that birthing a child or having a child in general requires more than being able to actually give birth to one. And personally, I wanted to be sure that I was mentally and emotionally ready for that task. So I just needed to actually get into the marriage, get my ground, and then decide if that was the urgent next step to take. So that was it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. For those that are listening, get your grounds is a strong one. Okay, so when you got pregnant, was it almost immediately when you started trying, or you tried for a while?
No, it wasn't almost. Well, okay, I can tell you almost immediately because we only get like a chance a month.
Okay.
So it was almost immediately. I think it took like 2 months. Yeah, I think it took like 2 months.
Even 2 months. Your husband is a good sharpshooter then.
He tried.
Okay. All right. So we have come to first trimester, second trimester, third. How was your experience through all of them? Which was the worst? What were your allergies and all of that?
Okay, actually, I didn't even know when I took in. I was still seeing my periods till I was almost 3 months.
What?
Yes. So I don't know what was wrong with me anyway. And I wasn't having any symptoms or all that stuff. So.
Wait, hold on. Your whole first trimester, you didn't know you were pregnant?
Yes, almost towards.
And you weren't having any symptom?
No, nothing at all.
No morning sickness?
Nothing.
My God.
Even the day I found out, how I found out, it was my husband that found out, not me. Anyway, so
I don't understand. How does your husband find out that you are pregnant when you haven't found out?
He was the one that noticed the first symptom,
which is
I think I had painful breasts. Yeah, and I think I just made mention like I've been feeling this pain, and he was like, don't you think that you're pregnant? So I decided to get like a testing kit the following day. Yeah. And I tried it. I was actually pregnant. So I had to go tell my mom that morning, like, see what I found out. But she didn't even believe me because she has been seeing me like every day roaming around, like just being regular. She was like, no, she's going to take me to a hospital to run a blood test. She doesn't believe the whole so well, we went to the hospital. We did a blood test. She sat there and waited for the results to come out just to be sure. And it came out positive. And she looked at me again. She was like, "You're sure you're not feeling anything?" Like, I'm like, "No, I'm fine." And from the result, obviously, like, I was almost at the end of my third trimester. My first trimester. It was quite shocking to all of us, but...
Wow. I'm sure maybe it's your husband I should be interviewing. Wow. Okay, so first trimester, no reaction, nothing whatsoever.
Okay. I can actually say something I noticed. That was, I think it was a mental thing, but it happened as soon as I found out. I realized that I was eating a whole lot.
Okay.
I was eating a whole lot, and initially I thought it was normal, but the moment I found out I was pregnant,
you now realize that all those eating
and it went further. Like, it was like I had warriors in my tummy. Like, if I don't eat, like, it was like 5 minutes interval. Honestly, if I don't eat, it's like they're dragging my intestine. Like,
my God,
eat. Yeah, it was that bad. I was eating. So what we had to do, because I couldn't even make the food, I couldn't make that amount of food to keep myself full in 24 hours. So every morning when my husband is heading to work, he just carries me, whether I've had my bath or not. I'll pack my stuff and he drops me at my mom's place. So her duty was to feed me all day.
Wow.
She did a great job because I was eating, like, let me not exaggerate, let me say in like 30 minutes interval, I was eating. I was getting big.
Everything. You weren't reacting to any food. Every food and any food was a go for you.
Yeah, although there were times when I wanted something in particular, but even when I didn't get it, like, I would still eat something else and just move on. My cravings weren't that bad. So
at the beginning?
Throughout.
Wow.
Actually. So that
this is the first
trimester. That was what I noticed. The eating gradually stopped in the second trimester. What else did I experience? Okay, so I think I still had my energy levels very high because all this while I was working my jobs. Obviously, I was traveling. I was doing a whole lot of things, and people would be the one like, shouldn't you take it easy? But I was super, like, if I was like, go on, go girl. I was really strong. Well, I really can't say that I had any negative symptoms. But one thing I did notice in my second and my third trimester was swollen feet.
Okay.
I had that a lot, like every single day. I had that. My husband had to keep massaging my feet every day. Whether I stood or not, like, my feet must swell. I had that.
You're sure the food wasn't going to your foot?
I don't know, probably. Probably. But I think that's the major symptom I had. And then body aches once in a while, of which I know it was due to the amount of work I was taking on. Yeah. But then I would still wake up and continue with the work. I felt it just kept me going. It didn't let me, like, fall back and be thinking about it. So,
okay, this should be the out of all the interviews I have done thus far, you've had the cleanest of all of them with no issues whatsoever, no reaction whatsoever. Okay, so I usually ask my guests, how was sex when you were pregnant with your husband?
It was good though. I did not have any resistance or lack of urge. I was on. Yeah. If there was anybody who was scared, I think it was my husband. He'd be like, are you sure this position is okay?
No, to go and touch
it. So he was always concerned. I would just Google something and say, see, they say we can.
Let's
go. So I encourage you, and as long as you hungry me, man, and it was hungry me, and I was collecting. Like, no dull moment, please. Excuse me.
I have to find your husband and take lectures from you. Okay.
So it was good.
No issues whatsoever with that.
No, I don't have any issues.
Wow. Okay. So how did you first know you were in labor?
Basically from the classes that they always give us during antenatal. Yeah, our antenatal classes, they told us signs of labor and blah, blah, blah. So that evening, initially when the pain started, I was confused. At some point, I realized that it was labor. And then I started counting. But I was expecting it to get to that point where I start to scream like a mad woman. Yeah! It wasn't really getting there, but it seemed like I was at the close stage, because there's a way they tell us to count it. Like, if the pain is coming back to back, I think within 5 minutes or so, then you are actually close. And I was having even like 2-3 minutes intervals.
Wow.
And I felt it was really serious, even though the pain wasn't that extreme for me. So we got to the hospital that night. I think that was like to 11 or so. We got to the hospital that night. The nurse decided to just check me first of all to know how much I've dilated. They asked me if I was counting.
Yeah.
I told them how many minutes interval. She was like, that was really serious. So she took me into the labor room to just examine me first to know if I dilated. And she was like, I haven't even dilated 1 centimeter.
Even
like,
one.
I'm telling you, she was like, my cervix was still closed, like akagom. Everything was closed. How is it even possible that I'm in labor? My mom was trying to tell them she had been in labor. Like, is it because she's not screaming? I was obviously counting. Even me, I was shocked. Like, this has to be the labor now. They sent me back home that night.
Wow.
They were like, your service is not even opened. Except you just want to like rent hospital bed and just stay with us. But there's nothing we can actually do for you. So they sent me back home that night. That's how I carried my pregnancy. I went back home by like 12 a.m. It continued till, let me say 2-3 in the morning. Then I had a break and I could finally sleep. I slept till like 7 a.m. or so before it resumed again, but it was still very subtle. So I was like, I need to go back to the hospital.
Yeah.
But then, just in case they have to talk about this whole cervix being closed, we were willing to opt for ACS.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But then we had to try the artificial method. I forgot what they call it again, though. They had to induce me. Yeah,
okay.
That's the term. Okay. They had to induce me because I was already full term. And
have you crossed your EDD at this point?
That day was my EDD.
Oh, wow.
So okay. I was already full term. And from everything I had read and heard, it's usually not safe to like cross your EDD, at least for the safety of the baby. So I was like, I have to get to the hospital today and I have to insist on an induction. So if all things go well, the induction will just lead me to vaginal birth normally. But if for any reason there's any complication, you have to end up with a CS. That's how the induction works. So I got to the hospital, finally got to see the doctor. And this time around, I wasn't even negotiating with them because when I was like 39 weeks or so, I had gone to talk to them about an induction, but they were like, no, I'm not yet full term. I should just wait and blah, blah, blah. So this time around, as I entered, I was like, sir, I need an induction. I was not even asking, can I get... I was like, I need an induction. He was like, you seem so firm. I was like, yes, I know what I want. And he asked all the details about the pregnancy so far. I told him. He sent me for a scan. Okay. He said he needed to know if I had enough fluid in my tummy.
At this point, had the water broken?
No. I had not gotten any of that. No, your water doesn't break for everybody. You can, So I had not gotten that. So I just did the scan, came back. It showed that the fluid was still good for any form of induction. And so he offered to induce me. And that was where the process started. He just asked me, Shebi, you know that if it doesn't end in vaginal birth, you're going to go through CS session. I was like, yes, I know. He was like, are you ready? I was like, yes, I am. So he said, okay, no problem. He took me up to the theater, and then he put, that's, you know, he sharp put, the Khadija, Abi, what? There was something he put. It was supposed to help open up the cervix because, up until that time I went to see him.
Yeah.
The cervix was still closed.
Up until that time.
Yeah. So he had to try to open up the cervix for me to even start the major labor. So he put in the stuff anyway, and according to him, it was supposed to take like 30 minutes or so. Then it will just drop out by itself. That shows that the cervix has opened up.
Yeah.
So he put it in, and he gave me a bed in my room to just rest while my husband went to get my mom and my bags from home. So it wasn't even up to 10 minutes. The stuff dropped. And I called on the nurse like he instructed. I was like, this thing has dropped too. And it obviously came out with my mucus plug. So obviously the labor process was in line. So she carried it. But to me, I sure knew that something was wrong because it's not even up to 10 minutes. She carried it, and the induction process was supposed to start by 12. So he said the doctor's instruction before he left, once I called the nurse to carry out the stuff when it drops, she should just let me start natural labor, of which is going to start.
Yeah.
Then by 12 or so, they will start the induction process. So she just carried it out and called him that it has dropped and I'm out. So they took me to the theater, and they manually broke my water, like ruptured the membrane.
Okay.
Yeah, so the labor process could start. And then I went back to my room. So when I actually even started feeling the labor in full force was around that 12. Because the nurse kept checking on me. She was like, why are you not in pain? Why are you not screaming? Why, She was like, I was just sitting there watching TV all those hours. She kept coming to check. At some point, she was now like, I should walk around. I should climb the stairs in the hospital and all
try to force it.
So I walked. I even danced. I made a video of me dancing. The nurses were like, this was crazy. I was dancing around the whole hospital and all. It wasn't coming like so. At some point, she just told me I should go and just rest. So I went, I slept. So from that 12, I started feeling the pain even in my sleep. So I woke up and I just started preparing myself to get to the labor room. That was it. I called on the nurse. I was like, it's 12. She said yes. We went there. They put in the injection. That's for the induction process. And I was there. And the pain that I was able to control without shouting entered gear 5.
All right.
Oh my God. I was not fully myself, but I know I was screaming. Initially, it looked like I was enduring it just fine because the nurses were like, is this your first baby? I was like, yes. They were like, you're doing so well. Like, even mothers have given birth to 3. They are not this calm. I thought
they didn't know.
I was taking it in just fine. And at some point, I don't know if it was frustration, like this is taking too long or what. I don't even know, but I lost it. All the things my mother was telling me, breathe in, breathe out. Like, I don't even care if I'm breathing. I was just shouting, bring this baby out of myself. Bring this baby out of my. So the way the injection was, I don't know, but it gives me like 2 minutes breathing space. So let me say, the pain will just come and I will just scream. like 3 minutes, or let me say 3 seconds. Let me not exaggerate because I don't really know how time was counting. And then I'll have another like 3 seconds that I'll just be calm, like someone they give sleeping injection. Then the next 3 seconds I'll start again. Like it was that bad. So I didn't know what was happening, but I was hearing voices. So as at the time when that thing dropped, the nurse checked me. I was already 4 cm dilated. So when I got back in for the induction, she checked. I was 4 cm. I was like, okay. So after the induction, I was hearing her conversation with my mom, and my husband was in front though. But at some point, she said I was 6 cm. I was like, oh, at least it's moving. You know, I had so much hope. I was like, finally, it's going to end up in a vaginal birth and blah, blah, blah. So, oh, God. I did not know that time was good. I was just there shouting and closing my mouth, shouting and closing my mouth. All I do is that at some point in my frustration, I heard a different side of what was happening. Like, they were telling my mom that the cervix is closing back.
Eh? Wait. You say what?
Hypertension almost did me in the midst of that medication. They were
was like, closing back.
Yes, it was closing back to the extent they could not even pass a finger through. Like that's how fast it was closing back. So it got so bad, they had to start calling doctor. They came, they checked my baby's fetal heartbeat.
Yeah,
it was going up. So they knew it had to be an emergency CS. So finally, after everything, I think it took a while, but doctor finally appeared because that was really early in the morning. He finally came through. He checked the fetal heartbeat himself and checked the cervix. It was back.
Totally closed.
Welcome. You're welcome back.
Wow.
To where you started from.
Let's get this clear. You were in labor.
Yeah.
And the labor moved from 6 cm back
to a closed cervix. Yes.
That's a first.
So hearing that, put me on high tension. So at that point, thankfully, I was prepared for NACS.
Yeah.
I wasn't really. And I remember in the process of all my shouts, my husband had come to my bedside and was like, let's just do the CS. I can remember backing at him like this. I was like, let me just try. I did not know that time was going, honestly. It was when I came out, he was telling me that I'd been there for over 5 hours. I did not know. I was just shouting and going. So he was more like feeling my pain from where he was seeing me, and he was checking the time. So he knew that
time
he's really
going,
taking time and all. So finally, they started preparing for the emergency CS. And when they finished preparing the theater, they sent me there. And all I could just ask the doctor whether, is this pain going to stop now? He was like, yes, I'm going to give you something in your spine. I will give it to me. Give it to me. He will still be busy fondling with it. I'll be like, sir, where is the injection now?
Okay.
I wasn't myself, honestly, but it was true. Immediately he gave me that injection. It was as if they poured me cold water. I was looking for the water.
Where did they give you the injection? In your spine?
Yeah, my spine.
Is it epidural?
It wasn't epidural.
Because somebody has said there's a type of injection that is not epidural that they give.
Yes, it's not epidural because I know that they pay an extra $150,000 in that hospital if you want epidural.
Wow.
And I didn't pay that. Okay. Because normally, if you have to book for an epidural prior to that. Yeah. So I know that it wasn't epidural that he gave to me, but whatever he gave me, it works. I thank God for them, and I mentioned. So that's how I calmed down, and they started the prayer. I wasn't feeling nothing. I was sleeping off, although they were trying to talk to me to ensure that I'm trying to engage, but then I don't know what the hell was going on there until I heard my baby's cry. That was it. And this is all I've been waiting for. And that was it though. They just showed me my baby. At that point, I was not see where. I was like, who is this black? This cannot be my child. I was seeing a very black child. Black. I said, no.
Black.
She was black. I don't know if my vision was blur or something, but I shall know. She was just too black. But obviously, I wasn't seeing well because when I came out and I asked my mom, they were like, she wasn't black when they gave them to her. So probably my vision was blur. Okay. They didn't let me touch her, though. They just showed me and they were like, confirm, boy or girl. And I just looked at her sex organ and I was like, girl. They were like, okay, and it's okay. So it won't be like they exchange my baby or stuff like that.
We've had that kind of had that kind of story already here.
So they just made me confirm, and also to ensure that I'm actually conscious.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for that.
So you didn't do skin to skin?
No, they didn't let me. Probably because they were still trying to operate.
Yeah.
They didn't let me. I didn't see my baby till the following day in the evening, because straight from that theater they took me into the intensive care unit or what.
Wait, let me react to that. What?
Wow, woo.
Ha!
I didn't see her, I didn't touch her. I think that was almost 24 hours because I was in the other room. You know, they would say things like don't raise your head and all those stuff because of the surgery.
Yeah.
So I was there alone. I only had a few visitors come by, my mom, my sisters, and they would be completely coated with different things. They just came in to see me. It was a very boring experience. Like, there's nothing I did not try to do there. Initially, I did not know that I had this whole catheter thing inserted. So I wanted to just move around. Like, I was sick of lying down. So I told the nurse, like, nurse, I want to go and pee. And the look was like, pee here. I was like, huh? That was when they were like, you have a catheter. There's no way you can pee on the bed. Pee here. I was like, I want to poo. Poo here. I couldn't move. Like, it was terrible. It was later in the evening, the people that they exchanged. So when they tried to clean me up that evening, she now told me I need to turn sideways and turn the other side for her to clean me up. I was like, oh, really? Now I can turn? Ha! From the moment I turned and turned again for her to clean me up, as she left, I kept turning. I was just turning. It was a very nice experience, but all I can say is despite how complicated the experience seemed, like, I've never had this feeling like, oh, I'm scared to go through it again.
Yeah.
I feel so comfortable. I feel like I can go through anything.
Are you ready?
Ha.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, your postpartum, how did you go through that?
Well, I think at some point, I don't know if I would say I almost had postpartum depression. My baby wasn't latching.
What?
She wasn't latching because, she's a very lazy sucker, one. And then I have inverted nipples. So even the boobs were blocking her face. So children just have it. It's always easier for small-breasted people to actually breastfeed normally. So my own was war. At least if the nipple was showing somewhere, it would have been easier. There's nothing that these nurses did not do to my breast. Oh God! All in the name of trying to bring her nipple for this girl to suck. So finally, I was getting seriously engorged. I had to get a breast pump.
Yeah.
I had to start expressing. So I'll feed her with a bottle, and that was the process. I will still keep trying to like make her latch.
Yeah.
And the whole refusal from her, like, it was getting me really, let's say, frustrated also. Well, I think that was what almost caused postpartum depression. But aside that, even from the CS surgery, I healed really fast. At least I know from like the second day, I was bathing myself. I was doing things. In fact, from the moment I came out from that room, I was moving around. I was sitting and standing by myself. The healing process was fast for me. and I was able to resume work. Like, I think that was 3 weeks later or so.
Wow, that was fast. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So in all this, what was the role your husband played? Like, was he supportive? Was he at some point, what's the word to use now?
Indifferent.
Sorry?
Indifferent.
Indifferent, or he wasn't showing that enthusiasm towards taking care of you and the baby?
I think supportive is the word.
Was he scared?
No.
Okay.
He was never scared. Never. I'm not sure I got such vibe from him. But supportive, 100%. Honestly, like, he really went all out. Even from the pregnancy stage. I don't think he enjoys the kitchen, but I know he had to cook so many times for me and my itself. And then doing things around the house. Like, I completely left anything that concerns sweeping and mopping or carrying loads. I was like, the doctor said,
Okay.
I was like a queen. And he was doing it, and we didn't have a help. And he was combining it with his job. So, no, he really took care of me. And even when the baby arrived, like, despite the fact that my mom was there to do a lot, she wouldn't even let him, like, lift the pin, but he would still make sure he was involved in what was going on.
Wow.
So, yeah, he was supportive 100%.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're almost at the end. We're here to break some myths. Those things that we've heard about pregnancy that are not true. And you found out that it wasn't true. Like, you know, you've heard it from multiple people, and you're like, okay, you were expecting it, but you're like, oh, well, it's not true. What are those things for you?
I think the money sickness part.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that, obviously. And it's not like the Nollywood movie that you just got showing up. I don't see anything like that. So,
okay.
Then, what else? Okay, then there's another myth I read about, which was that when you have like an easy pregnancy, like the way I did, you're likely to give birth to a boy. Like, girls that usually stress you and stuff like that. But I gave birth to a girl. Like, I gave birth to a girl. Then there was another one they said, I think it was about itching your tummy and the baby having a lot of hair. I not really itch my tummy. Well, my baby's hair is not like, but she had a lot of hair
when she was giving birth to.
She came out. So I think there were some Aisha heads, but it's all good. They are different ones, but these are the ones I know for now.
Oh, okay. So finally, is what advice do you have for expecting moms and those that are planning to go through this route of pregnancy and having their own children?
There's one particular advice I have, and it's related to the kind of stuff I've been reading on social media of late. So I just want to say, like, God is the one that blessed us with the child. That's if you're pregnant and as you're expecting a child, just know it's God who has blessed you with this child. And as He's blessing you with this child, He's giving you the knowledge to take care of this child. So try as much as possible to limit the information you take in from different people. I see a lot of people being carried away by this person said this person said this. It doesn't always work that way. Yeah. Just trust your instincts. You can never do wrong by your child. So it's not like you're not going to listen to people, but always filter. Know when you need to filter. 1. 2, I'm going to say this concerning the Omugo stage. No matter how tired you are, please be involved in what is happening to your child.
Yeah, true.
Be there. Just, even if it's for looking, you don't have to lift a pin or anything, but know who's carrying, know who's doing what. Because I've seen a lot on social media of recent, like, oh, my mother-in-law gave my child crude oil, she died. This one gave
Crude where?
Yeah,
What?
I saw it recently, and I'm wondering, where were you when your mother-in-law fed a newborn baby crude oil? They said this, the mother-in-law's pastor that told her that the crude oil is supposed to clear the heart or something like that. Like, I've seen so many stories like that of late, and it's crazy. Like, just always be your child's protector, because that child cannot shout, cannot explain what's going on. You need to be available, no matter how tired you are, no matter the amount of help you think you have around the house. Don't just go as without knowing, oh, what's going on with my baby. Nobody's going to feel that loss like you, like nobody. So
I still can't wrap my head. Crude.
That's just one out of so many.
Jeez. I know I listened to the radio recently, and they were talking about female genital mutilation. And some people were saying sometimes the mothers don't even know when either their mother or their mother-in-law does it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you not know?
Because most of them, they leave the bathing part for their parents. Their moms or mom-in-law, they'll be like, I'm resting, she's doing the bathing. Like, throughout, although I trust my mom so much, I know she may not be involved in stuff like that, I was always present when she was bathing my baby. If not for any other reason, just learn the process.
Yeah, to learn
she
the
may
process,
not be available the next time you're giving birth or something, like, you will be able to do it. So I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be present. I was always present. Even if, she said she wants to give my baby medicine, I'm there. Like, I'm seeing every damn thing. My mom ended her amugo at 3 weeks. I'm telling you, at 3 weeks, she was like, she's going home, oh. She's going home. This is someone that did a C-section. She left me with my baby and she went home. So imagine I wasn't involved in all the teachers. Where would I have started from to be learning how to care for my baby at 3 weeks postpartum? So even if maybe you don't want to do it for the baby, just like do it for yourself, for the knowledge.
Yeah.
But I think it's really necessary that moms should sit up, honestly.
Wow. This has been a powerful one. Thank you so much for coming today. I believe that people out there that will have learned a great deal through your experience. So, as I will always say, please make sure you share, you like, and you comment and subscribe.
Yeah.
Your comments, put them down. Your questions, put them down. Luckily, or if we are lucky enough, we'll have her in the comment section. She'll be able to answer some questions. I will also drop a link to her Instagram page for her business and any other thing.
Welcome.
So thank you guys very much. Until next time, God bless you.